Crayon Poke is a game made by Raiyumi for Millionaire 32. Raiyumi also made the Valley Rule and a Kitty Dream. In the game, Crayon Poke, you play a girl who has to collect skulls and use the power of Crayon to venture your way up in new beginnings. Well, that's what it says in the description of the game. For me, you collect skulls and use the power of Crayon and find a way out of this universe is sort of similar to the story in the Valley Rule. It is a very simple plot, so you can't really change or think of a big idea when you have a time limit to 72 hours. It has this 8-bit kind of retro feeling, which I like in games. This has also been in the Valley Rule too, if you know what I mean. The game is a pop and bop platformer with puzzles for you to solve along the way using your ability to use crayons. Sometimes in the game you get the power of Crayon and use the crayons to get your way through everything. Platformer games are really easy compared to other games, but with bosses, it makes the game a little harder. But if the bosses are really complex, things could get real frustrating. And since there are no bosses for this game, it's easy to get through the entire challenge of it. Again, the problem of the game being made in such a short time frame limits the potential for other ideas and gameplay, which I think the creators should do more often, since 72 hours isn't too long to make a game with lots of depth. So without any sort of challenge, this game is really simple. But no, it isn't. The game isn't that hard and extreme like Portal, but you have some difficulty throughout. You have one enemy, which is a pig, with at least some enemy-like behavior. That is the only enemy you have in the game. Most of the game's world is really lonely, which I think makes the game way too easy. There should be at least 3 enemies that you come across in the game. More about the pig later on. The controls are simple. Arrow keys are for moving the girl around. When you press S, you jump. Press D to throw crayons. I like simple controls and not complicated controls that result into you having to go into the instructions and read how the controls work. Not only does that limit the player's enjoyment of the game, but it's very time-consuming. You get the power of Crayon sometime in the game. The only use you do with it is basically getting your way up platforms, not even a weapon for you to use to defeat the pigs. You only have 10 crayons. Whenever you need more, you go to this red circle that allows you to refill. But the thing is that whenever you mess up or screw up, you have to go back to the red circle. Once you get more crayons, all the other crayons you used disappear. So you have to be wise with the crayons and their usage, and always make a strategy before you shoot any crayons, or you will have to start all over again. As with the pigs, which are used to get up places and crash blocks at one point of the game, there should be more character sprites as enemies or useful trickery for the game's world you are playing. That isn't to say that pig enemies are badly made, but they can be more efficient and creative with enough time on the creator's hands. Crayon Poke, surprisingly, has no levels, so the only level you have is the whole game. Yep, just like Raiyumi's other creations, the graphics are 8-bit, which is a downgrade to HD games of the now. But the 8-bit graphics makes it feel like a classic from the NES Atari Sega-ish era. Like I said, I like how games give into a sort of era where it creates this mood, since it gives off a style for its game developer. There are little puzzle obstacles to solve, but most of it is only platforming.
There are no glitches in the game.
There actually are no glitches in this game? From my experience in the game, I haven't encountered one glitch or bug in Crayon Poke, which is a great thing. With that, you don't have to refresh the page or go to the menu of the game in order to fix it, which is really annoying and frustrating. Sometimes it even goes as low as having to contact the creator so they can polish it. This game has its music score repeat over and over again, which is really bothersome if you're stuck in some part of the game and have to listen to the overlapping music over and over again until you finish the game or otherwise mute it. The music blends in well with the game's environment. It's well made, but could have more tracks and theme cues to involve other sounds during gameplay.